Thank you so much for joining. Welcome everybody in Satsang, where we open our minds, open our hearts, remove all the filter, and get famous on YouTube. My question was, have you ever kept quiet and not expressed the truth just because the other will feel bad or you will spoil the relationship? Who wants to go first?
Definitely, yes. There's no doubt about it. It's happened number of times, but overall intention was obviously not to hurt a other person, whether like hiding the truth or telling a lie. So there's a distinction between those two.
Mm-hmm. What is the distinction?
You don't want to dislike if somebody has told you something or shared some news and said, okay, it's a personal thing, and somebody else is asking about it. So what do you say? You're hiding the truth. You don't say, I don't want to. So that's where I say it's hiding the truth.
Okay. रीना जी, आपका क्या विचार है?
Yeah, I do same thing.
It was the
I
same.
hurt anybody. That's why I keep quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't reveal the
Okay. Good. Good.
Most of the time, that's what I do. But I want to break that and learn how to put it in the right way. I want to do it, but I am not aware of it. So I am attending this satsang to improve myself.
Amazing. So Kanya ji, you go next. Whoever wants to go next, you can unmute yourself. I'll call your name.
It's mainly don't want to hurt others. So even if someone says something, I don't speak out or don't want to hurt others' feelings. So same as what the other person said. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Good. So main motive is not to hurt others.
We've always done this from childhood. I think it is somewhat ingrained in the culture, maybe. I think that's why we are never able to get out of it. We are always trying to please others or avoid conflict and never say what's on your mind, even if somebody hurt your feelings or is doing something wrong that you want to correct. You're always afraid.
Yes, very good point. We have done this from childhood to avoid conflict. Very, very important. When we were little, we used to tell lie to our parents so that we don't get hurt. Now when we adult, we don't want to say truth because we don't want others to get hurt. The same intention, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just mainly don't want to get to have a negative outcomes or hurt others.
Same as what others have expressed. I think at work you try to not get in trouble or pinpointed as somebody who's going to cause trouble. You try to at home or with friends, you sometimes withhold the complete truth because you don't want to make them feel bad or hurt. So yeah, sometimes partial truth or maybe just not say anything.
I agree with the others as well. I think we've always done it from childhood. Like we don't want to hurt people. We're thinking so we will hurt somebody's feelings, and sometimes you think that someone might get in trouble if we tell something about them. I think we've always done it. I have noticed myself recently that I'm speaking out a bit now.
You know how to assert now. You're asserting yourself, right?
Yeah, I think I'm doing that now. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, like some time of my life, stage of my life, I used to feel that keeping quiet was better. But later stage, sometimes I realized that no, keeping quiet is not. We should express. But once I express, then now I realize that I could have kept quiet at that time. It's like, and it has spoiled relationship. So then I feel that who am I to judge or like sometimes I used to feel that what I feel is the truth. That is the truth. And then I used to try to assert that. Then now I realize that there is no truth. It's like like I feel I am truth, but the other person has got his own angle. So I feel who am I to decide and impose on them? So it's better to keep quiet, let them realize at their own time.
When you're in duvidha that this is right or that is right, and you don't know, you don't have that clarity, then silence is golden probably.
Most of the points are covered. As others says, sometimes it's so difficult so many incidents came in our life. Sometimes we think whether we tell the truth, what the other says, or sometimes just be quiet, like silent. That could be the best answer.
I do it most of the times. I feel like I hide the truth. And, even if I feel hurt, I just don't express it to the other person.
Does your frustration build up or it gets better?
It's not better, but I just have my own means of venting it out.
So sometimes if you don't speak, the frustration builds up. If you're constant in touch with the person who is not speaking the truth too, okay? And if you have to live with that person, good luck with you.
I feel that if you don't speak up the truth, sometimes else also that advantage will be taken if you keep continuing to keep quiet. So it is always better to confront and speak the truth rather than just carrying it forward. That is what I have learned over years now.
Very good. Good perspective.
I think in my case, it depends on the other person. If that person is very near to me, if he's very close friend, if he's my husband, then I say the truth. But if it is someone I just know him, know her, I hesitate to say the truth. So I keep quiet.
So I told you that I'm going to tell you some things based on Sundarkand of Ramcharitmanas. In Ramcharitmanas, when Sita ji was taken by Ravan and she was kept, so Vibhishan was the only one. He was always telling Ravan to release the Sita, and this happened after all the Lanka Dahanan happened. So at that time, all the advisors of Ravana, all the ministers were ego boosting that, oh yeah, you did good, you taught a lesson to that Hanuman, and he'll go with a burnt tail and whatever. They were just ego boosting him. And so Vibhishan and his maternal grandfather were the only two people who were sort of not politically correct. Okay, they were constantly advising Ravan, give back Sita Mata. And in that dialogue with Ravan, Vibhishan's dialogue is that the three people should always speak truth, and I'm speaking truth. Before I tell you the three things, you have to understand that Vibhishan was not arrogant, or nor did he got afraid of Ravan, nor did he was sort of speaking with ego. His main purpose was dharma raksha. Okay, and dharma raksha, what do we understand by dharma word? Dharma in this context or any context, the best definition I found is sustainability. Something that upholds a society or sustains anything is dharma. And there's a very famous shloka from Mahabharata, dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. That dharma protects those who protects dharma. That means if you do the right thing, carry on your duty or dharma, then that duty what you have carried on will protect you later. For example, if you take care of your body now, which is the first duty that I always tell, that body will take care of you later in the life. There are three people who should always speak truth, but there are also three factors while you're speaking. It should be satyam, which we always say. It should be truth. It should always be priyam. That means you speak without any agitation. Karna priya hona chahiye. It should be good to your ears and the other person's ears too. Because then your intention shows. You're not speaking out of ego. Because I want it. And whenever your dharma is clear, and Prasita, this is answer to your question. Whenever your dharma is clear, what is to be done must be done. What is to be followed must be followed. It's absolutely clear in your mind. There's no duvidha. There's no duality. Then you speak the thing, this is how it should be done, and the vani that flows out of your mouth, that sound energy, is always priyam. And the third is, it should be hitam. Hitam not for you. Everybody is saying we create boundaries so that other person doesn't verbally abuse us, which is okay. But suppose a wife is getting verbally abused by a husband. It is not only hitam for her that abuse should stop. It should hitam for everybody. Children in the family, the husband himself, he's also doing bad karma. That hitam should be for everybody in the society whenever you speak up. Okay, or for the entire family or organization. So these are the three factors you should always consider. That is not only hitam for you, so you have to analyze a lot. The more you connect within, you can analyze quickly. Is it just for me that I'm asking things or creating boundaries, or is it for everybody? That how this person should behave, or I should create boundaries, okay? Or I should tell the truth. So that's understood. Then three types of people, the three positions of people, not types, positions, I would say, positions in the society, they should always speak truth. The first one is, in Vibhishan, in terms of Ramayana, it says, the advisor to the king. But we can also understand anybody, even working in an organization, if you're a manager or director or you're advisor to them, or who are in the policy making or decision making, should always speak truth. They should not be like sycophants. Sycophants who are just pleasing others, trying to please, as you said, Gayatri, we want to try to please others. So if you are in a decision making or a policy making or advisor to any higher ups, you should not be just have a pleasing mentality. जैसे 4 साल में election आता है, politician gives something to please the voters and they don't think of long term. So you should not just do something to just अभी काम चल रहा है, चलने दो, It's like giving biscuit to a kid, जाओ खुश रहो खाओ, I'm not cooking dinner for you. So you should not have that pleasing attitude towards others. This advisor to the king or role, if you're in that kind of a role. The second position should always speak truth is a vaidya or a doctor. Okay? Because if your doctor doesn't speak your truth, then he's deluding you. Everything is going fine with you. You don't need to do anything. Do doctors pay enough attention to your overall lifestyle here? I haven't experienced that. Not a lot of doctors do that. If you have a doctor who pays attention to your overall lifestyle and tells you, you must sleep at this time, nobody uses this language, right? Sometimes they do, sometimes they avoid speaking the truth. They just do a checkup and then give you the results, isn't it? But if you're lucky, you've got a doctor like that or a healthcare professional like that. So if you're in a position of healing somebody, even if your friend, okay, let's not go literally with words like Vaidya or doctor. So what if you're in a process of healing your friend or your sister or anybody in your family? Healing means taking care of their emotional journey. Satyam, Priyam, Hitam should always be in mind, but should you be just ego boosting that person? Oh, I know you got hurt because that person is really nasty. Or do you analyze situations from an objective point of view and give that reality to your friend? Do you just ego boost? Usually family feuds होता है ना, family जैसे relationship में parties create हो जाती हैं. So do you just ego boost one party or the other and then dislike the other party because उसमें आपका भी फायदा है, You feel also not so good about the other party? Or do you remain objective and speak your truth and take the stance of the truth? Even though you may feel that you may disturb your relationship with the person you're telling the truth, you must speak the truth. At that time, have dharma in mind. If I speak truth, what is going to happen? If I don't speak truth, what on earth is going to happen in a bigger picture? So have that in mind. If I speak, what's going to happen? If I'm not going to speak, what are the consequences of not speaking? Now the third type of people, the third position who should always speak truth is a guru or a teacher. They should always show you the mirror. If a guru doesn't show you a mirror, a teacher doesn't show you a mirror, probably you're going to fail an exam. They should not be pleasing. Sometimes in private colleges or schools, they just give you marks or pass. I see here in public schools too, until grade 5 or grade 6, kids are just passed like that. They're not given any marks. And then they suffer in high school, these kids. They cannot handle the pressure. And then I also have little objection about giving certificate or the medals to everybody. All the students, 20 people participate, all 20 gets a medal. Why? First of all, don't have a competition, have a healthy competition. But then acknowledge people who have done little better. Showing kids the failure earlier in life is a big learning for them. Because if you keep handling them with tender love and care till 10 or 12 years of age, and all of a sudden they become a teenager, they have to handle a lot of things in life or go to high school, they're going to crumble under pressure. I sometimes see parents talking very like in a cartoon animated mode to the kids. Don't do that. Talk reality with your kids as early as possible. With nice in their level though. But not hiding truth or twisting the truth. But You can only say twinkle, twinkle, little star to a kindergarten and not to a PhD student, right? So you have to be smart enough how to convey truth to the child. So if a child gets hurt from a table, don't hit the table. Oh, bad table. No. You have to walk properly around the table. You have to convey the truth to the child that the child has to take the responsibility to walking around the table and not say, oh, table is bad. It hit my baby. No, don't do that. You're making that kid suffer for life if you're going to do that, because they're going to keep blaming others for everything in their life. Talking to your children, because your parents are the first teacher to their children. Show them the reality early. Talk to them with maturity, every aspect. If they come to you, don't get emotionally drained yourself. If they have come with their own problem, understand it objectively and provide them with a solution which is for dharma, which is for sustainability. What will sustain them? I see a lot of kids come to their parents, even married kids, to their parents with a lot of anxiety, problems in their married life. And what the parents do, they just ego boost. Oh, why your mother-in-law is talking like that? Or why this is happening in your workplace? No, there's nothing wrong with anybody else. You need to learn to handle life. That's all it is. So you need to speak your truth and be calm about it. Yeah, it is what it is. And be supportive. Even if you have to speak about your own truth, how you're feeling, if you're getting hurt, acknowledge first of all, accept, yes, I'm getting hurt, but this is how I want to create my boundary. Tell it nicely. Till you cannot tell nicely, work on yourself. If the tears are coming out, that means you have to work a lot on yourself before creating a boundary. What if a child is rude to you, or a teenager or an adult child is rude to you? What should you do? Anybody face such situation?
What you say, but I guess it's just, well, they speak their mind. Right? They don't hide the truth. So they say, oh, how they are brought up here. They don't have to please anybody, but they can say the truth. But they're not saying it to hurt you. They're just saying the truth. But the truth hurts, right? And then you have to process it and figure out, oh, okay, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I can't give a particular situation, but I know that this has been a problem for me. But in a way, it has also been a learning for me. Is learning from my children how I should take self-care and how I should stand up for myself. Because I never stood up for myself.
So the thing you can teach children or adult child about Satyam, Hitam and Priyam, okay? I know you're telling it for my benefit, but can you be less rude in speaking to me? Okay? That's kind of a discipline we can build in them, so that usually children take parents for granted, or we take for granted people who are close to us. The energy exchange between two adults, okay, adult children or partner or friends or siblings, should be such that you should be able to convey each other's differences, priyam bhav, that has to be learned. Each and every individual has to learn that, every adult, and that is to be taught from childhood. And simply saying that, oh, that was rude, you could have said in a nicer way, also conveys that message. You have to inform the other person. As Rajni said, if I'm close, I'll inform, but you can do this with your colleagues too, or your manager too, if you're able to. I wish everybody is able to do that, any relationship. But just saying that.
Yeah, I'm able to do it at work, but I think with my closest people, I only now learn how to say it, with, like you said, without getting emotional. Because first thing you get emotional, you get tears in your eyes, and then you kind of lose objectivity, and then you say things that actually is not useful. Yeah. But then you really say it with prema, like you said. I didn't realize that's the word that's actually very useful, because I realized when I'm calmed down and I'm able to argue and say properly what my issue is, it actually works better.
The message you convey while you're agitated or crying, it doesn't seep in the other person. Okay? Mm-hmm. Then it's only the ego fighting with the ego. But when you're calm within your own self, and then you convey the message with assertiveness. And also, When you're assertive and you know you're speaking your truth and it's for hitam for everybody, then also you get that confidence and you stand your ground. You should be first standing, you're on solid ground. You should know what is dharma, what is sustainability in every situation. And then from that standpoint, when you speak, it usually works better because of the confidence. If you're in a position of authority, and this I have spoken extensively before, if you see some kind of mishappenings or abuse happening, you must speak out. You should not shy away because entire family can collapse, organizations can collapse, nation can collapse if a person in position of authority does not follow dharma.
Saji, when you are not in a position of authority and then you have to, it's okay if you keep quiet?
No, but you have to take a risk at that time. And those people are called whistleblowers. So how much are you willing to take a risk? It's up to you. It depends. Are you still okay losing your job, following dharma, or you're not okay? Will it be more adharmic because you'll not have money to feed your kids? If it's in a job situation. So you have to decide. That is why our rishis gave the burden on us to follow dharma. It's your karma, following dharma, and then you take the burden of that. Nobody else. So each person, each situation can be different. It cannot be explained in a group setting. A lot of circumstances have to be thought about.
It depends on our capacity, how much we can take the consequence.
Yes, depends on your capacity, how much you can take the consequence. In some situations, you may be able to take a lot of consequences. Maybe your relationship get destroyed. You're able to take that consequence. But in some situations, you're not able to take the consequences. As if you lose your job, you lose your house, you cannot pay the house loan, you'll be on roads. So it depends on how much you can take it.
I got a lot of clarity that we should look at the issues in an objective way and communicate in a good way when you want the outcome to be very constructive. Is it okay?
Yes, perfect.
Today's discussion.
Yeah. How about, no, listen, ask yourself, am I willing to sacrifice this? Am I still okay leaving this? Whatever that this is, it's coming at an expense of this. Ask yourself this question. Yeah. If you're a Mahatma, sadhu, it doesn't really matter to you. You're willing to leave everything, right? You can be on road. But we are not there yet. We are still sadhaks. We need certain things to survive, as Pradeep ji said last time in our Tattva Bodh class. If we start making a list what a body needs to survive, it will be thousands of things. What are those? Are you willing to go? Let go. You have to ask. Each person has to ask question within. If I speak my truth, what are the consequences? And if you're willing to take that consequence and 100% agreed and not blame later, either yourself or the circumstance. No, in absolute clarity of dharma, there's no blame game. Okay? If you're willing to take that responsibility today, even 20 years down, you must be smiling, taking that decision. I'm glad I spoke because you're absolutely clear. That only comes when you're connected. More you're connected within, more clarity you have about your own self and your goal, your vision, which direction I want to go. Then you are able to make a decision. In the leadership, in either an organization or at home, if you're senior, more you should be, your acharan, like the behavior should be that people want to be with you and want to work with you. Okay? Not the opposite, that they have to work for you. So the more your sthit is in yourself, that's what I say, the more people want to work for you. Okay? So the leader should have that persona, or even as a mother, father, or any small organization, if you have a community you're taking care of, you should be so sthit within that people should listen to you with interest and they want to be with you because you have something valuable to give just because of your own energy that you're emitting. Isn't it? Absolutely. Yeah. So it's more you grow even in your career, more responsibility it becomes for you to tell the truth. Yeah. And also be connected within. Now each one of you has to ask yourself, are you telling the other person just because you want that thing, or you have a like and a dislike? That's why you're telling that person that thing. Is it your like and dislike, raga and dvesha, the two enemies that the mind has? Or is it because of benefit of everybody? And whatever you're saying, how does it benefit everybody? You have to give that explanation to your mind.
Because whatever those three positions, basically, most of the situation you can categorize into those three conditions. And when you think deeply, in every situation at one point, you probably have to, I won't say the compromise, but somehow leave that situation. You can push it at certain level.
Yes, very good. Very good. So these Ramayana and Mahabharata are called itihas. Itihas means aisa hua tha. Okay, so these are based on, as per our rishis and people who wrote, it's a real thing which happened, but it may be a dramatized version. जैसे होता है ना, रियलिटी का शो बनता है, जैसे कोई सीरियल बन गया, but it's based on a real story, or a movie बन गया. So don't take everything literally, but get the essence why these shastras were created. Okay, these were created for, so that we as sadhaks get knowledge about dharma, arth, kam and moksha. That's all it is. It is universal. That all these teachings should give us the knowledge of what is dharma, what is artha, that how should we be prosperous while remaining in dharma, kama, how we can fulfill our desires while remaining in dharma and utilizing our money properly, and then ultimate goal moksha. But when your goal becomes moksha, ultimately all three falls in place. But that's kept last because you have to first realize what is dharma. So all these stories, they're built in beautiful stories, but if you really read the original thing, not the TV serial one, then you get small experts of this wisdom built in within. So beautiful. So you must read original. Pick up one thing and start reading. So that's what it is. So dharma is the main thing, sustainability, that you should always be, that what will sustain me, what will sustain things around me, that should always be taken into consideration, and then it should not cause you a slow poisoning, whatever is happening. People live in a situation of slow poisoning. Very many situations, whether it's toxic relationship at work or home, or within extended family relationship, like people live in a toxic relationship because they're not able to say things, that has been bottling up the anger, that leads to anger, anxiety, depression, lot of anger. Anger is the first thing, outlet of that. Should never remain in that situation. So bolte na, nip the bud. When the problem is growing, then itself address it. If you don't address it, you're going in for a disaster because it's not hitam for anybody. But again, see if you're able to convey it nicely, how sthit you are yourself. You will see changes within your own self. More you practice yoga, more you practice meditation, more you study these things. These are timeless wisdom, as I said. More you understand these things, more insight you get in how to respond in different situations of life. And then the confidence increases because you know absolutely clear what is right. And then you go with it. This is absolutely right. I want to stick to it no matter how much price I have to pay for this. That stage comes. It's not impossible.
I said another 20 years, we'll learn something.
It's an ongoing journey. Never leave it. एक कहावत है, आपने सुना है, गुरु गुड़ रह गए, चेला चीनी बन गए. क्या पता आप ज्यादा प्रोसेस हो जाएंगे मेरे से जल्दी.
नहीं, आज हम लोग वॉक करते समय रीना से कह रहा था कि we are still at the very first stage. Like we attend every class, we listen everything, but beyond that, taking it to the next stage, that's where we are stuck.
What is it taking it to the next stage? देखो, roots grow हो रहा है, आपको दिख नहीं रहा है.
Yeah.
Before the shoot comes, the root grows. So it's coming. It's coming. Wait, it's coming. वो right समय पे अपने आप आ जाएगा. एक कहावत है हिंदी में, धीरे धीरे रे मना धीरे सब कुछ होए, माली सींचे 100 घड़ा ऋतु आए फल होए.
Exactly what I want to say.
समझ में आया? धीरे धीरे रे मना धीरे सब कुछ होए. सब कुछ धीरे धीरे ही होता है, बहुत कुछ चीज फास्ट नहीं होता है. माली मतलब गार्डनर. माली सींचे 100 घड़ा, मतलब 100 घड़ा पानी भी डाल दे वो. ऋतु आए फल होए. ऋतु आएगी तभी फल होगा. ऋतु मतलब सीजन. कितना भी 100 घड़ा पानी डाल दो, सीजन नहीं होगा तो फल नहीं होगा. उसी तरह, बट इसका मतलब थोड़ी ना है कि हम वो प्लांट को कंड्यूसिव एनवायरनमेंट देना बंद कर दें.
Yeah, we have to keep doing. Yeah.
Keep watering your plant, right? Keep attending.
It's only once a season, right? It doesn't fruit all the time. So you learn, you fruit, and then you have another learning season before you fruit again.
हाँ, कोई एक तो फ्रूट आ गया होगा, अभी नेक्स्ट सीजन में नेक्स्ट फ्रूट आएगा.
Yes, exactly. ज़्यादा fruit आएगा.
ज्यादा फ्रूट आएगा। सब लोग प्रे करो बहुत ज्यादा फ्रूट आए। हम लोग थोड़े और इन पर्सन सेशन कर सके, कुछ हमको फंडिंग मिल जाए। तो just
Yeah. Hopefully.
all right.
It will end now, unless somebody has a burning question or a comment. Okay, all right. We'll finish with 3 Om just to calm ourselves down. Lot of discussion so that everything gets assimilated within. Take a deep breath in. Om. 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 Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Good morning. Bye-bye.